One of the things that made me really proud, I knew that even though it was kind of scary and crazy that things were going to be okay, was that when we were trying to figure out like how we were going to social distance in the lab, and like how they felt comfortable working and like at home, it's just everyone was super responsive to talking about it. Our supervisors held like daily meetings to try to get a gauge on how people were feeling, and everyone talked to like their coworkers and were very willing to give a little bit more and kind of sacrifice things for the good of both the lab and each other. Here in the core lab, we started getting a lot more tests that were specific for COVID patients, and all of a sudden a lot of these test volumes increased massively, and we had like big fluctuations on the times that they drew the COVID patients. So even though I don't necessarily work in the micro lab, I was testing COVID patients daily, and a lot of them throughout their care, you're getting hundreds and hundreds of tests that they kind of need right off the bat to either check how they're doing or see if things are changing prognostically. We obviously aren't necessarily caring for the patients physically, but we are really the ones that kind of give the providers the ability to react in the moment. And that's one of those things that really motivates us throughout the day when we get those tests, is we need to get them back fast and accurate. I'm excited just to get back to kind of a normal workflow in terms of like the patients that we're getting aren't necessarily COVID, and things go back to normal flow, and that's starting. I've really just enjoyed seeing how this hospital like adapts to change and how my coworkers are working, and I feel like in a completely unprecedented and kind of scary time, overall I've felt very cared for and kind of thought of as a valuable part of this hospital. And I feel like the pandemic's also really given lab people a big bump, which has been nice, and kind of made us visible when I feel like for a lot of people we're kind of an invisible group, which is cool.